Okay.
What is up, guys? We're actually officially live on Facebook, and we're actually expecting a few more people, but this is recorded anyway. So we're just gonna go ahead and start a little bit early because I'm super excited and I can't wait because we have one of our special guests here, Ashton Wilson. And just to tell you a little bit of backstory, I'm planning to make this conversation AI content for a long time for high level, but let's face it, I just don't have like that sort of skill set and that level of expertise just yet. And I happened to stumble across this guy post, right? One guy post on the GoHighLevel groups, and I checked out his video, and go down the rabbit hole, see his YouTube channel and his Instagram. It's blow my mind of what he capable of, and without further ado, I'm just gonna let Ashton tell us a little bit about himself and what he do with his company, right?
Yeah, thank you, Vico. So, my name's Ashton. So I've recently done a masterclass for AI in GoHighLevel. So it's an actual GoHighLevel masterclass. And we were running previously a gym marketing agency, and we've kind of just evolved over time. And I started spending more and more time on actually developing conversational AI. So went through, we actually build our own conversational AI that is external from GoHighLevel, but I've had the pleasure of being able to actually help GoHighLevel build their internal system. So I've been part of the research and development, which is pretty cool. And we've developed it enough now to where it's almost out of beta testing. It's still considered beta, but it's working so much better than it has ever been. So the goal for today is just to kind of walk through that so that anybody and everybody can get some type of value out of using the internal GoHighLevel conversational AI.
That's great. That's great, man. So obviously, just a little bit of heads up here, guys. This appointment setting conversational AI with GoHighLevel, you can obviously use it for your own agency, or you can actually sell it to like one of your SaaS client or SMMA client. So the use case here is really huge in terms of opportunity. So, and yeah, I'm just gonna let Ashton, like, do you want to share screen and all that stuff? I think you can do that as a co-host, right? And let me know if you have any technical issue.
Yes, absolutely. I didn't know if you wanted to wait another 2 or 3 minutes, or do you want me to just go ahead and dive in?
Yeah, we're good, man. We're good. Like, it's actually on time right now. It's the 9:27 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is give you guys a walkthrough of an example conversation of how this would actually work. So one of the biggest ways that most people want to utilize conversational AI is as an appointment setter in their business. Obviously, because this cuts labor costs a lot, and if you can get a bot to act sophisticated enough to almost be seen as a human, then it's very, very efficient to use this in your business because they'll contact everybody that comes through into your system. The speed to lead is under 5 seconds. The bot can continue to follow up, etc. So here's an example conversation of how this would work. Somebody would sign up, and the example that we use here is for fitness. I just feel like it's one of the best examples because it's applicable to everybody. So a lead will come into the pipeline. Let's just say they signed up through an ad. And the bot would reach out with a trigger message. Say, hey, Woody, thanks for signing up for our new fitness challenge. What's your main fitness goal right now? Just trying to lose a little weight. The bot responds instantly. That's a solid goal. Losing weight can feel like a journey, but it's so rewarding. What are you currently doing for exercise? And then she says, I can agree with that. I try to do cardio on the weekends. Haha, the struggle is real. Trying is the first step, so you're on the right track. And then the conversation goes back and forth until the bot sends an appointment link, and that person has the ability to book their own appointment here. Now, I'm going to break down 2 different ways of how you can actually go about this and set it up. The first way is going to be a more simple version. The second way is going to be slightly more complex. If I have enough time, I'll go through both. Vico, go ahead.
I actually have a quick question here. I'm sure it's on everyone's minds. How does the bot know when to send the appointment link? Now, is it like based on duration of conversation, or how does the bot know when to send the appointment link?
Good question. So we program it in a series of steps where it has to ask qualifying questions. So our qualifying questions in this case were, let's see, what are you currently doing for exercise? And qualifying question number 2 was if they prefer group or personalized training. And then after the qualifying questions are answered, we move forward and book, and we tell the bot to send the appointment link and book the appointment.
Wow, that's amazing, man. Is there a place where disqualify? Let's say you only do groups, and if they answer like they want personal trainer, would that disqualify them, or is that more like the complex side of thing?
Not in this case, but you could set it up to where it disqualifies people based on certain scenarios. 100%.
Wow, that's amazing. This is something new. All right, I'm just gonna.
I can actually
myself.
show you a. Yeah. I can actually show you a pretty cool example of that as well and how I built it out. So, I'm going to go ahead and run to the automations and show you exactly how this is set up. Well, actually, let's start in the settings. So if you go to settings, and you go to conversational AI, you'll see back here you have the conversational AI. Now, this suggestive conversational AI or the autopilot is not what you want to use. It is something completely different to what we're using. So you want to scroll down and you would just want to look at these settings down here. The reply time and the maximum amount of messages that it can send to a contact. So reply time, I usually utilize about 5 seconds. Sometimes people, if it's a longer message, the bot actually responds too quickly and people recognize that it's AI just because the message is coming too fast. So sometimes I'll advise people to make this 15 seconds. Now, if we go to automations, the first one I'm going to go over is the simple automation. All right, so here's how this works. Let's say you have your ad campaigns connected to this, right? So let's just say, for example, our trigger up here is like a Facebook lead form being submitted. So now if someone is submitting a Facebook lead form, and instantaneously that person is getting a trigger message. So this is just a normal SMS action. Everybody with me so far? Give me a thumbs up.
Yep, guys.
Okay.
If you still follow, just drop a 1 in the comment, so we know whether to slow down or speed up this video or this training. Just give us a 1. All right, we got heaps of 1s.
Cool. All right, perfect. So Facebook lead form is being submitted. This is just an example. And then an SMS is being sent. That is our trigger message. So, hey, contact, first name. Thanks for signing up for the fitness challenge. What is your main goal right now? So this is that initial message that we use. Now we add a wait period in here, and we're waiting for contact reply. And we're waiting for a reply to that SMS specifically. And typically I would time this out after about a day. But in this case, I have it set up shorter just for this example. Okay, now we have an if-else condition. So just to walk through this again, lead form being submitted, text message is being sent. We're waiting for a response. And based on when they respond or if they respond, we have a condition. Contact replied true, and then the other one is going to be false. So nothing happened. That means they didn't reply. Now, if they reply, we have our conversational AI tab here, where we have our prompt, our personality, our instructions, our questions. Now, something cool that we've done, and actually, Vico, this is one of the reasons why I didn't put together a Google Doc, is because we've actually pre-programmed prompts into this so that you guys can edit them just by the click of a button. So for example, let's say you're clicking anywhere to add a conversational AI action. At first, it's going to pop up empty. This advanced bot configurations, if you click the on button, it pre-populates the prompts. So we know that not everybody's a prompt engineer. So we push this button on and it automatically pre-populates those prompts. And it will automatically tell the bot that it's working for the company name that's on the sub account, and it will pre-program those. All you have to add is the qualifying questions that you want to include, which is pretty cool.
Can I just quickly ask, is that like in a snapshot? How can the prompt be preloaded like that? Is that part of the snapshot or like?
So it's not actually part of the snapshot. It's part of the actual conversational AI. So anybody that goes high level snapshot or has GoHighLevel snapshot or not, they can just click here, type in the conversational AI action. and it will pre-populate for anybody that pulls it up. So all you have to do is turn this on and it loads by itself. So Vico, for example, if you were to pull up your own GoHighLevel and do this yourself, it would pull up.
Oh, so like it's like a default prompt that built in Highlevel.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. So we have so lead form submitted, text message. We're waiting for the contact reply. We have the if else condition, whether or not the person replied, and now we have our GPT action. So what we're doing is we're telling the bot who it is. So you are a highly scaled rockstar salesman for Total Fitness. This is just a name I made up, and your name is Alice. And now this is just all of this is preloaded in this prompt. And our first qualifying question is, what are you currently doing for exercise? And then you have a timeout option here, which is basically if the person does not reply for, in this case, 1 minute, but again, I would use 1 day. And then we have our conditions. Now, our conditions down here, the way that it's set up is these are programmed by, or they're determined by AI. So they're not like your normal if-else conditions in GoHighLevel, where you have to manually like select reasons for why things have split decisions. So, for example, this decision down here, or this scenario down here says question is answered, and I'm saying question must be answered to move to this step, or to move to the next step. So AI is able to register whether or not they answered the question, and it will only move them to the next step if they answer the question. If they answer any other question, or they ask a question, or the question just isn't answered at all, it will not go into, in this case, right, it won't not go to the next step. Any questions here?
Wow, this is amazing. Guys, any question, we're willing to take that during like, that 10-minute or 5-minute interval. Just type it in the chat.
If not, I'll just keep going. Okay, cool. All right, so we have our prompt in here. AI is determining what our scenarios are, and this is actually where you could put, for example, disqualifying, right? So let's say, for example, Vico, we were to put person does not exercise, right? And this is just an example. We would never disqualify someone if they don't exercise. that isn't a thing that any gym would do. But you would say if the person says they do not exercise, they are DQ'd. So we would save this action, and now it adds that action here. Person does not exercise, so they would answer, I don't currently do any exercise at all. We could just add them to a workflow, whatever disqualification workflow that you guys have. So some people, so you could just remove them from the workflow or whatever it might be. Mark them, add a tag, mark them as DQ'd, whatever it might be. So you can just add on conditions that easily.
Just a quick question here, Ashton. Like, from your experience, how good is the actual bot actually being able to, separate this person based on the condition that you have? Like, for example, you write the word here, they are DQ. Does the bot actually understand what DQ mean?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
All right.
100%.
That's
it does a very good job. Yeah. It's connected directly to ChatGPT. So, if it will be able to recognize based on their response whether or not they, the person does or does not exercise, and it will know that it needs to move them in here to disqualify them.
And just a follow-up question on that. Is that GPT 3.5 or 4?
Right now it's 3.5.
All right, cool.
But we're working on adding 4, so you can toggle between back and forth. All right, so I'll go ahead and delete this option for now, and we'll keep this thing going. So in this case, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, we have a question in one of the comments. Melody Graham asks, can we train the bot on niche-specific terminology?
100%. So in here, if you're updating the, like for example, in the additional instructions, you could add whatever you want. So for example, I have use your witty side and say things like LOL and haha when necessary. This makes it seem more personable to use that type of terminology. So any specific or niche specific terminology you would want it to use, you can just add it to the instructions. So you could say, you could even provide like a list of, phrases or terms that you would like the bot to frequently use. And you could just paste them in there and say, try using these terms frequently as it relates to my niche, for example. You just want to tell the bot how to behave and prompt it accordingly.
I see. Well, that's amazing. Sebastian here asks, are we able to use this bot on WordPress via plugin?
Great question. Not at the moment, but we are currently working on adding it, and I think we're about 3 weeks away.
Okay.
So 3 to 4 weeks, and we will actually have an option to start using this. So if you look down here, we have the option to select between the channels of where you would like to use the bot. So right now we have SMS, Facebook, and Instagram. We're going to be adding the chat widget very, very soon. So you're going to be able to embed this on websites.
Oh, I really want to see that on email, man. We got a lot of email reply.
Really? Yeah, that's another one we're going to be adding to. That one takes a little bit more work though, because you have to structure emails in a certain way, and they have like a specific type of format. So it takes a little bit more work, but we're trying to make it for as many channels as possible.
That's good.
All right. So in this scenario, so we have the bot here. Question is answered is our scenario. So if that is the case, so here we give it a scenario. If they answer the question, it goes to qualifying question number 2. And I actually, the conversation that I showed you is using this workflow. So the conversation that I showed in the beginning is actually using this workflow. So qualifying question number 2 at the bottom, do you prefer group fitness classes or a more personalized experience? Right, so it's the exact same personality, the exact same instructions on every single one that we use. The only thing that we change is the qualifying question. And then we have the conditions breakdown again. So now if they answer this, so question must be answered to move to the next step. If they answer qualifying question number 2, we move it down to booking bot. And in the questions area, we say, send the booking link, tell them to let you know when they have booked so that you can confirm it. Again, the personality is the same. Additional instructions are the same in every single one. And then just in case they ask another question instead of booking, we create one more step. Same personality, additional instructions, and then questions are just any general questions that the bot feels necessary to ask based on their response. Okay, so now let's do one more run through here on how this is working. Facebook lead form is submitted. We send that trigger message. We wait for a response. Whether or not they respond determines where they go here. If they reply, we have our conversational AI widget with the prompting. If they answer the question, it goes to qualifying question number 2. If they answer that, it goes to the booking bot. Just in case they ask another additional question, it goes one more step. And you can make as many steps as here as possible. So if you feel like the person might continue to go back and forth and back and forth, you could just keep duplicating the step and going down and down and down. All right. Any questions?
I might miss this, but is there any prevention? Let's say if someone stopped replying, because that's happened all the time, right? When you text someone and then they just stop replying, would they go into another follow-up sequence? Like, is that
good question? Yeah. So in the simple build out, so I have another one I'm going to go over as well. In the simple build out, no, this is just the person responds, the bot responds. If the person does not respond, there is no follow-up sequence in place. The second one that I go through includes a follow-up sequence in multiple different scenarios. It's a little bit more complex and it looks kind of scary. So I wanted to go over this one first.
I see. I see. So I think we're going to let the audience decide, guys. We're going to give you two options here. Number one, we're going to spend the remaining minutes, or we're going to spend the remaining minute dive a little bit deeper to the simple workflow, which is the one that you're looking at right now. Or option number two, we're going to go into the complex workflow, which involving the follow-up if the lead is not responding. So I'm going to let majority vote here. If you want option number one, which is go into more detail about the simple workflow, drop a 1. If you want to do 2, where we look into a complex workflow, just drop a 2. And we'll just let you guys decide. All right, we'll got a lot of 2 here, Ashton.
All right, perfect. Looks like we're going to the complex workflow. All right.
All right. So just quickly answering Melody question here, Melody Kran. This recording will be available on my Facebook profile and Ashton's Facebook profile. So make sure that you stick until the end of the video so we can actually show how you're going to get access to that. All right. So yeah, make sure that you stick till the end of this training. Okay. Thanks. All right. We're going to move on to the complex one. I'm prepared.
All right. All right. Perfect. So this is going to, initially it looks a little bit scary, but it's not as scary as it looks. Okay. Slightly more complex here. I know there's like webs going all over the place, but once I walk you through this, I think it's going to make a lot of sense. Okay, so similar trigger, right, at the top. So let's say a Facebook lead form is submitted. We have that trigger message that goes out. We're waiting for a response. And now this is a little bit different. So the condition we have here is if the person responds, if the person does not respond. If the person does not respond, we have another conversational AI action where we specifically make a follow-up bot. So we still tell them who they are. The only difference is that their objective is you have not received a response in your last message, and your goal is to come up with a unique follow-up message. Person has not responded in 1 day. Never use the same response twice. Every response should be entirely unique. And then the question is any relevant question that they haven't asked in the past. So AI will just generate, a new question to keep them engaged or try to re-engage them into the conversation. So we create a section where if the person doesn't reply. Now, if they do reply, we still have our same, basically the exact same setup as the previous one. Okay. So we have the no condition met, timeout, which means they didn't respond, and if the question is answered. So what's happening here is for the timeout, so timeout means the person did not respond in this scenario, right? So 1 day goes by, there's no response. We have a go-to action that routes specifically to the follow-up AI. Now let's say the bot will send a follow-up message and say, hey, I see that you weren't able to respond to my last message. And if a conversation was happening, it will actually refer to something that it said in the last conversation. Like, I see you're trying to lose weight. Just wanted to reach out and see when's a good time to set up an appointment, something like that. It would come up with a unique response every time. And then we have different conditions here on this one. So we have person responds with no conversation history. So if it's their first response. And then we have the person responds, but they already have answered the qualifying question, number 1. And we have it go to, so if the person with no conversation history answers, we send it to ask the first qualifying question. If the person responds and they've already answered qualifying question number 1, we send them to qualifying question number 2. Does this make sense so far?
Yeah. It looks complex, but I'm starting to get it. So hopefully, hopefully you guys do the same. We got a little bit of question here. Govan here asking, like, can this be triggered from a regular form, like when a form is submitted? I think
100%.
Yeah. And Eric here asks, will we get the workflow so we can modify that to our business? I think he's referring to a snapshot. Like, will you be sharing the workflow? I think that's what he meant.
We will potentially be giving away both snapshots. So the snapshot, the complex snapshot and the simple snapshot. But I've also I'll go over this a little bit after I actually complete this. I've created a way to make this very, 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 very simple, and I'll get into that after I finish with this portion. Is there any other questions?
Yeah, no, it's just this two question. Yeah, I'll let you continue.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we have so now we have if it times out, we're setting it to the follow up. Now, if they answer the question, qualifying question, then the same kind of thing. It goes to the booking bot if they answer that question. If it times out again, we send it to the follow up bot. So it's actually, now that I'm breaking it down, it's probably seeming a lot simpler than it looked in the beginning. No condition met, I have a wait period here, and I send it back here. So, for example, go ahead, Vico.
Ashton, would you mind if you like put the zoom into like 100, 120%? It's really small, man. So we'll probably like, yeah, that would be nice because I see everyone like look really close to the screen.
Oh, okay, yeah, no problem. Okay, so now we're in qualifying question 2. We're sending it to the follow-up bot if it times out. If the question is answered, then we send them to the booking bot. No condition met basically means maybe they responded and they didn't answer the qualifying question. So qualifying question here is, or the qualifying question number 2 would be, do you prefer group or personalized training? Maybe they say something like, just tell me how much it costs, for example, right? A lot of people like to say that instead. That would fall into no condition met. We have a wait period here where I usually just put like a few seconds on the wait period, and then I route this back to question number 2, and it will basically address the question that they asked or what they said, but it will continue to try to get the answer to that qualifying question. Now, the reason why I have a wait step here is to avoid loop locks. Are you familiar, Vico, with loop locks? Have you ever had that happen in a workflow?
Yeah. So a loop lock meaning it's going to an infinite loops, and the high-level system just try to cut it out. Yeah, am I on the right track?
Yeah, bingo. Yeah. So if you were to remove this wait period and it was just no condition met, go to back to qualifying question here. Adding a wait step actually gives you some leeway. It gives you some room to kind of make that error or make that mistake without actually getting flagged. So the more wait steps you have before the go-to action, the more you will actually be able to avoid getting loop locked.
What is the interval? Like 30 minutes? Or what do you recommend?
It doesn't matter. I just use a few seconds here.
Oh,
so
wow.
0.1 minutes. Yeah. The wait step in general just helps avoid that. All right. And then we have, so qualifying question number 2. So no condition met. We're routing it back to the same questions. If it times out, we go to the follow-up AI. If the question is answered, we send it back here. So this setup is basically the exact same as the last one. The only difference is that, number 1, we've created a follow-up bot, right? So we have this. And 2, we're creating a go-to action to that follow-up bot every time the bot times out. So if the person does not respond, we are now following up with this person every single day until they respond, which means if AI is creating follow-up messages, you don't need your own nurture campaigns. You have a never-ending follow-up sequence here. So if someone enrolls themselves or opts into your ad and they don't respond, like a lot of people do, because leads aren't perfect. A lot of people just opt in and they don't respond for whatever reason. You have a follow-up system in place to continue reaching out to that person, and AI will generate a new and unique message every single time it's trying to follow up with that person and re-engage them. So it's pretty awesome, actually. And then we run this down to stage number 2 for, the booking bot. And then if they ask a question, we have another booking bot. The only difference here is our conditions. We have the same conditions, but we're just creating wait periods. And we're routing them back to the booking bot so that if people continue to ask questions or if they don't respond without booking, whatever it might be, then we're routing it back so that the bot continues to re-engage them, continues to answer questions, and basically just be a general support bot until that person finally books an appointment. questions.
Do you think this will work with e-commerce? Let's say someone have a low ticket where you try them back to buy a $70 ebook or something, or even an abandoned cart. Will this work with e-commerce?
100%, absolutely. Yes, you could set this up. So the initial triggers would be different, right? So I'm not too familiar with the e-commerce triggers, but let's just see if there's a. Yeah, so abandoned checkout, right? Duration 10 minutes. So let's say they abandoned their checkout, for example. You could create a specific workflow to reach out and follow up with that person in the exact same scenario. The only difference would be the prompting. You would want to specify the prompting for the scenario. So you would let them know in the additional instructions that the person visited the page, added to their cart, but they did not buy, and your job is to follow up with this person, ask them questions, and re-engage their interest, something like that.
Wow. Yeah, I definitely use a coupon code, for e-commerce. But yeah, man, like I would bet all those e-commerce store would be willing to pay a lot of money for an AI bot like this, guys. Like, if any one of you in the e-commerce space, this is a huge opportunity, right? So yeah, I mean, like, is there more to it, or is there like Q&A time, Ashton?
So there's one last thing, and then we'll go Q&A. So save this. So that basically breaks down the gist of how I build it, and exactly how we get it to respond and follow up. Now, what I have done is I've created a snapshot. And if you aren't GoHighLevel users, I actually have the entire GoHighLevel sub account that we give to you, but we set it up in a way like this. You don't have to ever go into the workflows to actually program the bot. I have the workflows set up and it's already deployed in the account. All you have to do is go to the custom values. I created a conversational AI folder, and all of the custom values are editable directly from this folder. So if you want to make any changes to the bot, to the based on its company information, the company name, the name of your AI assistant, qualifying questions, all you have to do is go back here, edit the information, and it will automatically update the workflow because we pasted these custom values in the prompt that we have. So no steps, no building, 100% just you deploy this in your account and you can make the updates just from the custom values.
No way, man. That's crazy. That would save me so much hour, because my intention was to come to this training, learn it from you, and spend the next 2-3 days build it myself. So you're telling me I don't have to build this on my own? So is it like a snapshot, or what is that? Is it going to be a snapshot at the end of this, right?
Yeah, so I put this snapshot together recently just to make it more user-friendly for everybody. Mm-hmm. And then Vico, whether or not we're going to, we can connect after this and kind of see what the best way to go about it is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would like people to have access to this, so they didn't have to go through actually setting everything up.
Guys, that is, like I said, my intention was to come here and learn and spend the next 3 long days building it myself. But it looked like we're just going to shorten that to 3 minutes based on the custom value that he showed us. So thank you so much, Ashton. Thank you. So
yeah, no problem.
Q&A time, guys. Let's say here, Claudia saying why there isn't a wait before go to time in, time out. I don't quite get that question. Do you get? Or she sent it directly to me, so you probably can't see. She said, we're just gonna skip that one because I don't think it makes sense. So Sebastian here asked, do you think you can add WhatsApp as one of the medium in the future?
Yes. So that's chat widgets, WhatsApp, and email are 3 things that we're looking to add in the future.
Yeah. And when you said we, you mean the high-level team, right? Not the your company, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, HighLevel is so one of the director of automations who is like in control of the research and development. So we're working on implementing new channels, and that's our next step. So I know the chat widgets we have coming in the next few weeks, and we're continuously making those developments.
So, guys, just give us a feel here. I mean, like, it's Q&A time. Feel free to like fire as many questions as possible. We're gonna hang around for a couple more minutes, but just on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being like I'm completely lost, 10 being like I'm going to be able to sell this tomorrow, 10 being like I'm going to be able to make money from this tomorrow. Drop me a number where you guys sit from 1 to 10. All right, we got a lot of 10. Wow, we got a lot of 10. It's Ryan with GoHighLevel. Who is Ryan? Wow, we got a lot of 10. So you must like done a great job, man. Explaining this.
Beautiful. That's awesome.
So yeah, Tim is raising his hand. I'm just gonna unmute you, Tim. Where is Tim? All right, yeah, let's go ahead and come to the stage, bro. What's up?
Hey guys, sorry. I didn't see how they're getting kicked out of the workflow. Is it when they book an appointment, it automatically kicks them out of the workflow? I have one similar to that. Is that how they get out of it?
Great question. Yeah, 100%. So depending on the use case, you would want to, we create like a stop bot campaign where we can just remove them completely from that workflow and add a tag or something that just makes sure they don't get re-enrolled to that workflow anytime an appointment is booked. Now, this would be specifically for an appointment booking bot. If you're using it for abandoned checkout, or if you're using it for maybe just like a general support bot, you'd probably want to use a different trigger. But you can always create workflows to make those to make the bot stop replying.
All right. Does anyone want to come on stage and ask a question like Tim? Just raise your hand up. I will unmute you. No? Yeah, Daniel, we got Daniel here. Hey, what's up, Daniel?
Hey, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, just curious. I came kind of late, so I know that like I was testing out like the regular GoHighLevel bot or whatever, like on the Instagram and stuff like that, and it was just tripping up like crazy and sending information that just was not correct. So is this bot like the regular GoHighLevel bot, or is this like something different? And I apologize for being late.
Yeah, no problem. So it's completely different. The regular GoHighLevel bot, if you want to call it that, it's like this autopilot and suggestive version. So it's based off of FAQ and it's programmed by links that you give it. So it's not as sophisticated. It's not very conversational. And if it doesn't know the answer to a question, it will say things like, sorry, I don't have enough information to answer that question. In this case, we're prompting it with ChatGPT and we're giving it a specific direction to follow down so that it always has an answer to a question and it doesn't trip up like the one that you're talking about. I know exactly what you're referring to. Those bots, the very first bot that was programmed in the GoHighLevel was not the best. It made a lot of mistakes. This one is much more sophisticated.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I got a question myself, which thanks to Daniel for remind me of this. How is this different from Eliza? Because GoHighLevel have $500 a month paid service for Eliza, right? Even like HL Pro 2 have something like Zappy Chat, right? And even Extendly themselves have something like Extendly starting to build their own AI bot. So like, how is Conversation AI, the one we just built, different from those bots which like cost $500 a month, right?
Yeah. So the plus side to Eliza is that it's programmed to work directly with the calendars of GoHighLevel, right? The downside is that it's not actually AI. It's programmed by FAQs. So when you're booking an appointment with Eliza, it's able to actually say, does 7 o'clock work tomorrow? Someone says yes, and it can actually book that appointment onto the calendar manually, which is another thing that we're trying to program into the ChatGPT bot that I just went over. But the problem is that it's an FAQ bot, so it's not conversational. If it doesn't have the answer to a question or it's not in the FAQ list that you give it, it's not able to respond and be conversational. The plus side is that it can just book onto actual calendars. And in this case, it cannot book onto calendars.
Oh, makes sense. Does anyone else want to come on stage and have a question right now, a live question? No? Oh yeah, Daniel. Daniel have another question.
Yeah, just another one real quick. So I was just a little confused by what Ashton said there. So the bot that I was using on Instagram, even though it was basically, for lack of a better word, junk, it still was able to book an appointment directly on my calendar. So is the bot that you're talking about here not able to book an appointment, or?
So here is an overview of how the bot works. So it's programmed by a series of qualifying questions. It's connected to ChatGPT so that it can remain conversational. And we set it up in a way so that it has like a direction to go in. Its ultimate goal in our use case is to book an appointment, but we do that by sending an appointment link. So it'll ask those qualifying questions. It will send that link after the qualifying questions are answered, and the person can click on the link and go to book an appointment. Now, with the Eliza booking bot, it's not as sophisticated, not as conversational. So if you look at these conversations here, even when it's referring back to what the person said, or like, haha, the struggle is real, trying this first step so you're on the right track, very conversational, almost comes off as a human. There's no way you'd be able to tell this is AI unless it was just responding too quickly. So that's the upside to this one. The only downside is that you have to send a link to book an appointment. But you actually get better show up rates 90% of the time if you send it a link and you allow the person to book themselves. So show rates actually decrease whenever you have the Eliza booking bot book onto the calendar.
Okay, one last follow-up question to that.
Yep.
The links that it's sending, are we able to customize those ourselves, or are they just being pulled from the calendar?
100%. You can customize them however you'd like. Whatever link you want to use. You can use a Calendly link. You could use a HubSpot link. You could use a Schedule Once link. You could use a GoHighLevel link, any of them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just a quick note on that. I would personally redirect. I'm gonna go to setting on Highlevel and go to URL redirect and redirect it to my domain. So it's like it's look more professional, and then you get more click through with that. I personally would do that. Daniel Harris have a question. Hey, just gonna let him speak.
Oh yeah, just one quick one. I have a client who has an aesthetics clinic, so it's all Botox injections and all of that kind of stuff. To do something like, obviously they've got a range of services that they offer. Would I need to create a new flow, a new AI flow for each service so it would know how to respond, or is there a way of doing it for sort of aesthetics generally?
Great question. So when you are, and I'll go over this, I'll share my screen to kind of give you a breakdown for that question. So when you're creating these workflows, since let's see, here we go. I'll use this as an example. So in these, the prompt is the same in each one, right? The only problem is that it caps you on how many characters you can enter. So what I would do is create custom values for each service that you would like it to be familiar with. And I would I would say something like, these are the services that you offer, or that the company that you work for offers, something like that. And then I would paste the custom values below it and use it in each prompt, like every single prompt that you see in here, for the conversational AI actions. And then the bot will be able to reference those services any point that is necessary in conversation. So you could have one bot understand all of the services.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so because otherwise it's going to be an awful lot of work to do. I 100% agree with you. Yeah, I would say in the additional instructions, just let the bot know these are the services that you offer, and just make sure it knows that. You'll be 100% fine. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Just quickly, I have my own personal question. Do you happen to have an example of a follow-up bot, right? So basically, if you don't respond and you ignore them, do you have like any example that we can see of them following up to you?
I could probably.
I would love to see that, man.
Yeah, I could probably make that happen live here, actually. Actually, I'm going to stop sharing while I add my contact.
Does anyone else have any question? Feel free to drop in the chats. And I personally, I just want to see that. I'm not sure if you guys want to see that also. I just want to see like what kind of follow up does the bot give. Yeah.
All right, I am going to push this into the next stage. So I just enrolled myself into the workflow. Let's see, I received that trigger message, perfect. And now I'm in the wait period, and I'm just going to push myself through to that next stage. If you're ever testing workflows, by the way, as you're creating workflows or actions or triggers, and you don't want to wait for the wait steps that you have in your workflows, you can always just come to the enrollment history and just throw yourself into the next stage. It's actually really helpful.
Tim Rice asking, is this using using ChatGPT API, therefore needing a fun ChatGPT account? No, this is actually yeah. Sorry, I'll let you answer.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, yeah, this is directly made in Highlevel. They charge you per action. I think it's like 1 to 2 cents per ChatGPT response, but it's included in Highlevel. And then here is an example of a follow-up message.
Hey there, just checking in to see how you. All right, so let me know if I can support you. Wow, that's cool.
And it will basically just continue to follow up every single day, depending on how long you set up the timeout period. It will just follow up with that person every single day until they get a response, and then it will be re-enrolled back into the conversation. The bot will start responding again.
And when you said every single day, that's like infinite, right? So it's just gonna go on forever.
100%. Yeah.
Oh wow.
The cool thing about this is if you're consistently generating leads, once you set this up, eventually you get to the point where, let's say, a month goes by, and you have new leads coming in, and you're continuously following up with people every single day. It's almost like you're doing a reactivation campaign every day. Like, for example, for my bit, well, it's worth it. So with follow-ups, you start booking appointments just from follow-ups alone. Like we're sending probably like 20,000 messages on a daily basis. Here's another one. So yeah, here's a follow-up. See if you had a chance to check out our latest fitness challenge. How can I assist you further with your fitness goals? You'll start sending up bulks of messages because people keep falling into that follow-up pipeline, and then you'll see just appointments getting booked just from follow-ups alone. It's awesome.
This is life-changing. So, yeah, man, it's crazy. Just quick question here. So Highlevel have 97, 297, and 497 plan. This will work in all tier, or is it just for the SaaS mode?
Good question. I know it works for the 297 plan.
Mm-hmm.
I think it works for the lowest tier as well, but I'm not 100% positive.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Just give us an idea here. How many of you guys in the Zoom chat is on the 497 plan right now? Just type a 1 if you have 497 plan. Oh wow! So we have a fair bit of people. That's good.
Nice.
Oh, we got Claudia here asked, if the person doesn't want to receive a follow-up message, could Ashton show us the part of the workflow? If the person doesn't want to receive that, I would just assume like they just reply stop, right? That what they do. Does that question
you
make
could
sense?
yes it does. So another thing you could do as well. And this is, we haven't ran into many issues with this, but sometimes when you're doing cold campaigns, you will. Obviously, not everybody wants to be contacted. You'll get people who cuss you out or just don't want to be contacted. So what I would do in that scenario is let's use the simple one. I would add a condition onto here, and you could just say person is unhappy or uninterested. Just copy that. You would paste that in the condition. So the condition is where you're naming it, or the branch name. You're just naming it something. But the condition is your actual prompt to ChatGPT. So person is unhappy or uninterested. You could say something like, any signs of disinterest, send them here. And that will create another branch, and then you could D&D that contact, so that you don't continue to reach out to that person. So there's a solution to that problem.
Guys, there is no question. This guy can't answer it. So, yeah. Man, that's amazing. Like, just quick one here. Can we integrate picture or GIF, right? GIF into this? Like, let's say we want to lighten the mood. Like, we send a picture or GIF. Is that possible or not in this conversation?
Not at the moment, unfortunately.
So Ninan here said that conversational AI work for all tiers. So that means 97 plans still work. I guess that makes sense because that action itself is a paid action, guy. So they actually make money every time you trigger it. So I would assume they have it for all plan, even the small plan, right? So yeah.
Yeah, one of the something that's actually really awesome, especially if you're running a marketing agency, but even if you're not, they have an unlimited plan, $49 a month. You can use as many ChatGPT actions as you want. And it has like it doesn't matter if you're cold messaging 10,000 people a day, whatever it might be. $49 a month. Doesn't matter how high you go on that.
And how can you buy that? You go to marketplace, right? Or you go to setting and marketplace and you buy the 49. How do you actually subscribe to that? If you, because it does make sense, right? Once you actually do it at mass volume.
Yeah, 100%. So if you go to settings, you go to conversational AI, and you scroll down to the bottom, current plan, upgrade to unlimited.
Boom, boom. There you go, guys.
Yep.
You're selling it to your client. And like you can actually charge your client for this and then actually have yourself on the unlimited plan. I think, yeah, maybe you can do that and then that would be really highly profitable. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, I think we're coming to a finish soon unless you guys have any more questions. But like, Melody here saying, is this at agency level? Yeah, I mean, like the 49, I think you can buy it at any level, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We got about, at one point we got 45 people. I was keeping track. At one point we got 45 people. Right now it's 37 people staying from the start until the end. So congratulations for making the commitment to level up and upgrade yourself. We do have a gift for you. Number one, we're going to be sending this recording to you, only to you. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. This is for me personally. I'm going to post it. Let me just show you my screen. I'm going to post it on my Facebook, but I'm going to grab. Sorry, where's my Facebook? Just going to stop sharing screen. I'm going to post it on my Facebook. My Facebook profile is Vico Khang, the name that you saw on Zoom. Just add me, and it's the purple profile. Just comment on the post. It's not going to be the video on the post. It's just going to be a picture. It's going to be a picture, and just comment on the post. This training was fire, or this training is like whatever, whatever word that you feel like this training deserve. Just post it in the comment, and I'll get one of my VA to actually DM you the recording. Personally, right? So I'm just gonna post it. I'm gonna make a post on Facebook, and I'm gonna tag Ashton. So if you guys comment, we know that you're actually from this call, and then we can directly send you the recording through your DM. All right. So that's how we're gonna be able to send you the recording. All right. Does that make sense? So we've got a few more questions here flying around. Do you need to buy a sub account? Does it cover it all? I'm not sure what that means.
I do have to jump off here because I have to jump into another meeting.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, man. I'll make a post
Yeah,
and I'll
absolutely.
keep you update. But I'll just stay here to answer any more questions as best as I can. All right, move.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. See you guys. Thank you, Vico, for giving me the floor here. Hopefully I was able to provide enough value and you guys are able to find this useful.
Thanks, man. You're absolutely crushing it. Thanks for your time.
All right. Appreciate it. Yeah. All right. See you guys.
Thanks. So I'm just going to make sure I'm answering every question before I jump off to sending picture is not possible. Yeah, so sending picture is not possible. What's the next step? Is there a snapshot? I have to discuss with Ashton about the snapshot because it actually belonged to him. But the recording is actually on me, so I'm going to post it on my Facebook. Hopefully you guys can just comment, this training is whatever adjective that you want to use, and then my VA will DM you guys tomorrow because we work in Australia time. It's like late night here, as you guys can't see. So if you guys are from America, good on you, but it's going to be at night your time. So I'm going to go off to sleep. I'm going to make this post and make sure that you go ahead, add me on Facebook and comment on my Facebook post for the actual recording. I'm personally going to rewatch it myself. There's no way I'm going to get that in one go. There was so much stuff that we need to go through. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. All right. Oh, can you show us your Facebook profile? All right. I'm just going to show you guys my Facebook profile real quick. Facebook profile. This is the Facebook profile. This is the Facebook profile. Let's have a purple thing like this. Let me just go. It's half purple, and the name is called Vico Khang. It's the same name as this Zoom call, and I'm just going to drop it in the chat. But I think most of you actually know me on Facebook, right? So that's cool, right? I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you guys save this link. It's a profile. It's not a page. It's a profile. Like you can message me. It's my personal profile that I used to talk to my mom and dad. So yeah, still active and using it every day. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night or a good day ahead of you. Bye.